morning. I'm Brian Wilson. I call this regular session of our Burnett County Commissioners Court to order. Today is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. The time is now 9:01 a.m. This meeting is being held in the second floor courtroom located at 220 South Pierce, Burnett, Texas. I call agenda item number 2. Please join me for the invocation led by Tim Denton, minister of the Vanderveer Street Church of Christ, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Father, as we're able to stand here in the presence of you and your Spirit and your Son, we're indeed humbled because you've graced us with a nation and a community that is free, free from the tyranny that others are exposed to. And I pray, Father, today that as this court meets, that you'll give energy, give your wisdom and your guidance to the people that are making important decisions. We know that you've given us guidance and instruction on how to behave and how to live in this life, and I ask that you give us a heart of harmony and a heart of love. We know that as your Spirit moves, that it's powerful and mighty, and may the harmony and peace that exist in the community continue and thrive. We know that evil exists, and I pray, Father, that you will get that from the power of the light, the power of goodness, the power of people with character and the desire to follow you will overwhelm that darkness. We know we're told to do whatever we do to glorify you, and we pray, Father, that the things done and said and the way that we behave and act will be a glory to you, and not only a glory to you, but a blessing to others. We thank you for your love, your goodness, your forgiveness, and we know that as there are the others that really don't follow you, and we pray, Father, for them today too, that they, through your Spirit, will seek the ultimate wisdom, the ultimate guide, and the ultimate source of eternal life. We thank you for this court and for the people of this community, and I'm just thankful that for the years I've lived here, that it's been a place where people care about one another, and may that continue. We pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and call agenda item number 5. Discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding department updates. I'll go ahead, just put these from past agendas. Burnett County Sheriff's Office, are there any updates regarding the state of disaster that we're under? Okay. Emergency management, including the debris site. Mr. Marcio?
Derek Marcio, Burnett County Emergency Management. So pretty much at this point, it's just monitoring long-term recovery efforts with, like I say, the Arc of Highland Lakes and our other community partners. Currently, there's about 510 cases with about 153 of those closed. They continue to work through the hardest of cases with reconstruction and rebuilding. Beyond that, of course, our debris site, TDEM took that over, and they've pretty much completed a reduction of all of the materials that we had out there. There's only a couple pieces left. Some of the appliances, some of the construction debris, but mostly they're pretty much on the clearing trend. Beyond that, do you have any other questions? Oh, wait. Other part, of course, coming up this week, our recovery scoping meeting with FEMA. As a part of that, I've been working on our damage inventory. Everything has been reported by the commissioners here for our roads, making sure that FEMA is aware of that as we go into that meeting so they can kind of see what they're up against as we move through the process.
Okay. Are there any other star requests that are outstanding with TDM or anything else going on regarding activity that we're working on?
No outstanding stars. Everything pretty much has been completed or is in the process of being completed because some of our tower stuff was done through star request. But beyond that, we're still working on those pieces. We're supposed to get the tower climb done on the Watson Tower last week, but ended up having to cancel it because, the wire that needed to be put up was already damaged on the spool. I didn't realize that until the wire was unspooled. So.
All right, so good. Okay, is there any public comment on this issue? All right. I call agenda item number 6 to discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding extending the Burnett County local state of disaster. Is there any public comment on this issue? Okay, close public comment. Commissioner, this is a gray area that in the law that the best I can determine from asking others, we have the debris site almost cleaned up now, and so we're doing that under the disaster recovery. Is TxDOT bringing, just one other question, is TxDOT bringing any other material out to our site from their locations?
So TxDOT is.
Okay, so they're still bringing stuff?
Yes.
And TDM is taking care of it?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Also, FEMA's still here for about another week or two, is that right?
Be till the end of this week, sir.
Okay, end of this week. And then, so I recommend that we could continue this disaster declaration for one more 30-day period to give us time to make sure that we've taken care of all of the things, and then we still have ongoing victims getting assistance during this time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Okay.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Luther and seconded by Dockery that we go ahead and extend for one more 30-day period regarding the extending the disaster declaration by one more 30-day period. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. All right, I'm going to go back to agenda item number 4. Presentation of the donation from the Burnett County employee picnic basket sales to the Arc of Highland Lakes and a brief presentation on flood recovery efforts. Kevin, do you want to give us a brief presentation about what's going on with our people around the county?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm sorry I'm a couple minutes late. We have been in full-scale recovery mode and trying to get people back to as whole as possible for the last 45 days or so. And I think you can be proud of the response that this county has taken, that the volunteers, that the churches, the organizations in this area have come together to serve and love people. And we're seeing it a day and day after each other, how people are just showing up. And it's been incredible, the stories that are coming out of the service to others. Right now, just so you have some numbers in your head, we've seen 510 cases face-to-face that we have done some sort of intake on, have helped in some way or another flood recovery-wise. Many of those are some low-hanging fruit items that we've been able to just help them with material items, get them back to whole, get them into an apartment or something like that, and that kind of takes care of them. But currently, we're actively working 351 cases. That is going to be more on the long-term recovery side, and that is everything that you can think of. I've got stuff in my backyard that I need help getting cleaned up, all the way to I lost my entire everything I own, including my car and my house, and I have no resources to get back to whole. And so right now, just a few more just statistic numbers. Just keep in mind, like, we're sorting through this every day. People are coming in the office. We're sitting down face-to-face with them, building a recovery plan, learning about their story, learning what resources they have available. We have no federal money that's coming into us. All of what we're doing is completely community-based donations. And so the stuff like that is about to happen this morning, I think, is huge for us. People coming around with $50 here and $50 there, it adds up, and it's taking care of these people. And so we meet with them face-to-face. We give them an idea of what their recovery plan could look like, how we could help. and then we walk with them for the long term to try to get them back to whole. And so right now, there are 94 of those cases that are looking like there's some sort, they had an RV or a mobile home, and it's just completely gone. You can't really deploy a volunteer into a mobile home and repair it because it just is, once it gets wet, particle board, stuff like that, mold starts to grow, and you really can't do anything with that. So 94 of those cases are that way. The other big number for us right now is that we have 137 that are major repairs or rebuilds. And so those are homes that have been damaged to a point where we think that that's going to be like we're going to have to walk with them, deploy volunteer teams to put in sheetrock and insulation and just the whole 9 yards. And so that's a big number. That adds up to a lot of money. And so we're working through those. We're trying to figure out the process for all those. We're trying to get as much FEMA help as we can along the way. We're trying to get as much resources from other entities as we can, and then piece together on the backside. We fill in on the backside of whatever's left. I did just want to, if I can I read a letter to you all? Sure. So I got this over the weekend as I was thinking about preparing for this, and it's very quick, but it came from a flood survivor, and I don't say this to toot our horn, more about how this community has really stepped up. She says, I'm writing to express my deepest gratitude to the individuals within your organization donating their time to help those during this unimaginably difficult time following the disaster. My family and I were devastated to lose everything in the flood, and while the path ahead is daunting, your outreach has truly made a world of difference. From the very beginning, your team's kind words, open arms, and compassionate actions have brought us not only immediate relief, but also hope and strength to face the challenges of recovery. And she goes on, but that's really the point of what we're doing, is this community coming around each other to support this community. And so we're in it for the long haul. We're going to be working with these families for up to 2 years maybe, trying to get them back to whole. But it's been incredible to see this community come together to provide hope in a place where people could often very easily get hopeless in the midst of losing everything. And so thank you for your support. Thank you for allowing us to steward this process. And so if there's any questions, I'd love to answer those, but we're just honored to serve beside you all who are doing such good work on the county side as well.
Great. So we have a presentation for you. The employees had a picnic last spring, and they all chipped in and made baskets and did a raffle and raised funds from among the different parties, and it was and so they have a check to present to ARC of Highland Lakes for that effort,
Very good.
to support you in your effort.
Thank you so much. We will put it to good use.
You got one? How do you want to do this? Come on in, and then let's just stand in front of the flag here. And we'll, Commissioner, will y'all join me on behalf of our employees? Yes, thank you.
Jacinta Stafford, County Clerk. As I was the person in this picture, this is really a complete employee effort. My office hosts the event with the help of the Commissioners Court, and this is something that's very passionate to us each year to find a nonprofit, and you guys fit the bill this year, so we're happy to help. But it was truly a group effort. Pretty much every single employee of Burnett County has contributed to that fund, so we hope you can put it to good use.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Kevin. Thank you and all your staff. We really appreciate everything that you're doing. I call agenda item number 7, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the burn ban for the unincorporated areas of Burnett County. Mr. Marcio.
Derek Marcio, Burnett County Emergency Management. Back again. So as we kind of look forward, so over the weekend, we actually did get some pretty decent rains. We had some gauges on LCRA record almost 3 inches of rain up in the northwest and about 2 inches of rain down there around about Cow Creek. Most of the county got anywhere between a half to 3/4 of an inch, with areas especially north of 71, kind of halfway between 71 and Marble Falls, that kind of little area. Those were the biggest winners to the north, getting up to an inch, inch and a half of rain. Below that was only about 1/4 to a half an inch of rain. So as we think about looking at these numbers from the Keach-Byram Drought Index, of course, our minimum value across the county is 263. Maximum value being 570. That's going to be those areas that are definitely in the southern end of the county, with our total average being at 442. We do have more chances of rain coming in over the weekend, as we get into Saturday, Sunday, Monday time period. About a 40 to 50% chance of rain as we get into Sunday and Monday, with up to about an inch expected over the next week. Humidity values, looking at our lowest being in the 30% range, really start to worry when we start getting into those lower 20s down to the teens on relative humidity. So we are going to stay above those values. Overnight values are going to be above 80%. So we'll have great overnight recoveries. So kind of my assessment goes about the same as we had last week, but at the same time, the rest of the, only one portion of the county really looks, bad. And that's going to be that kind of far southern portion, basically most of precinct 4, whereas the rest of the county is really in pretty decent shape. I would say with that, my personal recommendation would be to hold off probably another week, see what we can do, what we can get, because we did get below that 450 just barely over the last few days. And like I said, the rain that we got, it wasn't a big heavy dump in one spot. We really did get a good smattering, steady smattering over the course of those few days to really let that rain soak in.
Good. Thank you. Is there any public comment on this issue? Okay. Close public comment. I don't know that we need to do anything. I'll put it on the agenda next week and we'll watch it. If that's okay. By general consent. Okay. I call agenda item number 8, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action on the Burnett County declaring September Suicide Prevention Month.
Were you going to call us up?
Yes. Go ahead, judges. How y'all doing?
Good morning. My name is Roxanne Nelson. I'm Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, and September is Suicide Prevention Month. And unfortunately, Burnett County has its more than its fair share of suicides. Just a little data from Bluebonnet Trails Community Services, and Mike Maples, the CEO of Bluebonnet Trails, is here with us today. For Burnett County, Bluebonnet serves 8 counties, and for Burnett County being one of those 8, for suicide mortality rate, we're the highest among the 8 counties. And that's taking into consideration some larger counties like Williamson County. So it is a problem here. And we just want you to be aware of some of the warning signs. Someone saying that they want to die, someone that says they have great guilt or shame about something, someone that feels like they're a burden to others, feeling empty or hopeless, trapped, having no reason to live. They're extremely sad, more anxious, agitated, or full of rage, and they have this unbearable emotional or physical pain sometimes. They change their behavior, so watch for that. They make plans or they start researching ways to die. They withdraw from friends. They say goodbye. They give away their things. They start taking a risk that you didn't normally see them taking previously. They'll have big mood swings. They might be eating or sleeping less, and they might start using drugs and alcohol to try to dull that pain. To that end, Stacy Smith and Lisa Whitehead want to tell you a little bit about an event that we're helping put on at the end of the month called Stop Minding Your Own Business. Because if you tell someone that you think that they have suicidal thoughts and you want to help them, you're not going to push them forward in their thoughts about suicide, but you can bring them back from that precipice. So stop minding your own business, speak up. And they're going to talk a little bit about this event at the end of the month.
So I wanted to just say a little bit about our speaker. Her name is Terry Bentley Hill, and I actually grew up with her, went to school with her, and I was out in Amarillo at the same time with her when she went through a really very rough time. She had 4 daughters and her husband, and they were going through a divorce. Anyway, he ended up taking his life because of mental illness, because of alcoholism, and then about 9 years later, her youngest daughter also took her life. So it was devastating, and she's very passionate about it, and she is an attorney who focuses on mental illness and getting people to the correct place. Maybe not putting them in jail, but getting them where they need to go to get the help they need. So, good.
Lisa Whitehead, Justice of the Peace for Precinct 2. Probably most everyone knows that September is National Suicide Prevention Month, and we just barely got this in on September. It's going to be on September 30th. It will be at the AgriLife building from 9:30 until 11:30. We were hoping to have a lot of counselors from around the area, also the school. We've tried to involve them very much. Our first responders see this, as do the JPs, on a much too often basis, very up close, very personal, and if there's anything we can do to try to have someone know that there's another person that they can talk to about it, then we want to do that. It's, like I said, I have had a number of teenagers, and that's really hard to see that. And if you haven't been around a person who's then later taken their own life, it's so senseless and such a hopeless feeling. I think it probably hurts worse than any other kind of death that you might come into contact with. And after 15 years as JP, I've seen a lot of it, and those are definitely the hardest ones. And they're hard on us, they're hard on the family, of course, and they're really hard on our first responders because they're there to help and they're not able to help. So all of us have a part to play in this, and ordinarily I would say mind your own business, because that's really what we need to do. If we're not involved in something, we need to let that person handle it. But this is a different situation. We need to stop minding our own business when we see something that doesn't look just right. And one thing that I don't think it was mentioned in the things that change is also when a person who's been really depressed all of a sudden feels really good and they're happy and you're like, oh, they're doing wonderful. And then it's a day or two later because they've made their plan. And once they've made their plan, then they're happy because they've made a plan to stop the pain that they're feeling. And that's really what it is. They're just feeling such a terrible pain that none of us can even begin to imagine. So we invite you all to be involved in this, and I've got a flyer for it. I'll give y'all one, but invite the people that you think would be helpful to another person. You don't have to be a first responder. You don't have to be a counselor. You don't have to be any position. You can just be a human being that cares for other people. So that's, again, it's September 30th, 9:30 to 11:30 at the AgriLife building, and we'll have refreshments. So if for no other reason, we'll have refreshments. So we want you to come on out. And I'm going to hand each one of y'all one of these.
Thank you.
Just for your information, in Texas, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death, and it's the second leading cause of death amongst our children our young people aged 15 to 34. Again, Mike Maples, CEO of Bluebonnet Trails Community Services. In case you're unaware, all of our 254 counties are served by local mental health authorities. Mike represents Bluebonnet, which is the local mental health authority that takes care of the mental health, behavioral health, and intellectual and developmental disabilities in the county. If you're ever in need of some services or you know someone that's in need of services, please do not hesitate to reach out to Bluebonnet Trails for help. They have an office in Marble Falls. You
Absolutely, and we're here to help support our offices in Marble Falls, but we go mobile. We come to you. 2 ways you can do that: dialing 988. It's a hotline that is available for folks. It's an easy number. We are one of the call centers for that. Or our local crisis hotline number of 1-800-841-1255. And like I said, we have mobile capabilities where we come out to you and will help provide whatever assistance we need to for you or some loved one that you're concerned about. Thank you all very much for recognizing this month.
Thank you. I was just going to say, I'm going to leave the rest of these outside on the tables if anyone would like to have them.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on this issue? Okay.
Yesterday, Cynthia Klinsman.
Hi.
Yesterday, I heard a young woman tell about her experience with suicide prevention. And she suffered from sexual dysphoria. And so her family, as a junior hire, her family took her to a doctor. And the doctor assured her parents that if she did not have these transitional surgeries, she would commit suicide. And her parents were very concerned about their daughter and loved their daughter, and their daughter knows that they loved her. But her parents made the decision to have this surgery because they didn't want their daughter to commit suicide. And that doctor forced this surgery on that family, and she had a full mastectomy, and her genitals were messed up so that she has health issues now. And she realized that the majority of the children who have this dysphoria, once they mature, they realize that was not what they actually wanted. And so as a result, these kids who go through these mutilating surgeries commit suicide. Not because they were allowed to have the surgery so they wouldn't commit suicide. It's because of these surgeries that they commit suicide. So they're in the process, the Federal Trade Commission is in the process of suing this doctor that has done this mutilation. And he even continued this procedure when he was under indictment.
So, any other public comment? Closed public comment. Do I have a motion to adopt and publish the resolution declaring September Suicide Prevention Month in the meeting book?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Byerly and seconded by Luther that we adopt this resolution. And any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Okay. Agenda item number 9, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action on the Burnett County declaring September Senior Citizen Awareness Month. Is there any public comment on this issue? Okay, close public comment. Our senior citizens are the true treasures of our community. When I was a boy, my father took me to see a neighbor out there in Mount Pleasant, Texas, that was alive during the Civil War. When I graduated college, I went to a nursing home every Sunday after church and met men and women who settled Bastrop County in the late 1800s and heard fantastic stories about what Bastrop was like in the 1880s. I talked to World War I veterans at that nursing home who showed me the mustard gas burns on the side on their eyes because the mask didn't fit properly. I learned old remedies from cowboys, from how to stop weep-eyeing cattle and how to keep chiggers and ticks off of you. You can ask me later if you want to know those secrets of cattlemen or keeping clear of those things, but some of them are pretty hard on your kidneys, they say. But please remember to watch out for your elderly neighbors and listen to their great stories and learn their lessons. The Capital Area Council on Governments and is asking everybody in the Central Texas area to adopt Senior Citizen Awareness Month, September. So I appreciate if you would adopt and publish this resolution that's in the book.
Move for adoption.
Okay. Okay. Dockery moved and Commissioner Collier seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, I go back to agenda item number 3. I call agenda item number 3, public comments pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.007. The Commissioners Court allows any person to make comment on any item appearing in the agenda. However, in this section of the public comment, a person may make comment on items not posted on the agenda. Any comment made will not be deliberated on by the Commissioners Court during this public comment section. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Does anybody wish to make a public comment on an item not on the agenda?
I do. My name is Londa Chandler. I'm going to read this so I get my 3 minutes. Let me start by saying this is not personal. It's about money, or the lack of it. As I'm sure you all know, my husband died in January. I'm not bringing it up for sympathy, but because all of a sudden I'm making financial decisions all by myself, trying to make sure that I have enough left at the end of the year to pay the ever-increasing property taxes. I lost over 1/3 of my income the day Philip died, but none of the basic expenses went away. So I take the county budget very seriously because it has a huge impact on my personal budget. In a statement the judge made in his interview with this court, I found the meeting on YouTube, Commissioner Byerly asked about budgeting, and the now judge replied that he would budget so that, and I quote, "The money being spent shows a benefit to the people who are paying the money. I'm trying to figure out how you giving yourself a nice raise after 5 months on the job benefits me and my neighbors. Unless I'm mistaken, the salary of each elected position in the county is public before a person decides to campaign for said job, and yet it seems the first thing those elected officials want to do is vote themselves a nice raise. In case you haven't figured it out, I'm against the raises being proposed this year. It's only 2.7%, but last year's budget it was 6%, and the one before that, a total of 72% increase for 2 positions and 28% increase countywide in the last 5 years. County attorneys across the state make $98,000 to $132,000. Burnett County pays our county attorney $122,000. Now you propose a salary of $167,000 plus a benefit package of $30,000 plus a stipend from the state of $35,000. And please keep in mind that we pay the man who stands between me and the federal government, the sheriff, a measly $115,000 plus benefits. Watching last week's Commissioners Court on YouTube, the sheriff's rep trying to wade through the budget mess was embarrassing to the county. You are nickel and diming the sheriff, but offer the county attorney position over $200,000, and now you want to hire an attorney to cover Commissioners Court. $200,000 isn't enough to cover Tuesday mornings? Next, let me address the YouTube videos I watch. The Commissioners Court is recorded, and yet your budget has hiring a court recorder in it at the tune of $105,000 plus benefits. What am I missing? You record the meetings and post them online, and yet you want to pay someone to have someone record the meetings. Where is that resident benefit the judge spoke about? If Burnett County is truly transparent in all of its dealings, why do we need to hire a person at a salary of over $100,000 plus benefits to research FOA requests? Do the commissioners receive so many requests that they or a secretary can't look up the information? If you all really think that's necessary, my question would be why? I should be able to look up almost anything I want to see without outside help if we have a transparent process. Perhaps Commissioners Court should do what I have had to do since January. Ask yourself, is that expenditure really necessary or a luxury?
Any other public comment?
Cynthia Klinsman. I continue to request a monthly report to the court and the public what is happening in our county and neighboring counties' airspace with cloud seeding and geoengineering, and what these operations have influenced, and if Rainmaker is operating here or nearby, or if nothing's going on, then report that to us so we know that our airways are clear. And Mr. Wilson, you assured us when you were here to assist the present court with the vacancy of the judge, and now with your proposed well-padded budget, you've chosen to file for the judge position, and this concerns me. And Damon, I praise you for your selfless work with Burnett Events. I see you putting out fires all over the place and keeping things running smoothly. I don't know if that's on your own time or if it's paid time, but I appreciate you being there. But please reevaluate this budget as Lubbock County has. My great uncle, Dr. Ray Mowry, graduated from A&M. He was employed by the Extension Service when he graduated. And then he was appointed to come to Texas Tech and establish their ag program. So if Aggies and Red Raiders can trim their budget, we can. Lubbock County has chosen to not increase their budget. And I strongly wish that y'all look and consider not increasing our budget. Thank you very much.
Any other public comment?
Charlie Parker. First off, I would like to thank the Burnett County Sheriff's Department and the leadership of the Sheriff's Department for their integrity and continued service to this county. Next, I want to recognize the fact that in 6 months since the current county judge was installed in the infamous county judge staged coup of March 11, 2025, Mr. Wilson has made the previous judge, the disgraced James Oakley, look like an amateur when it comes to spending millions of dollars of the Burnett County taxpayers' money. This while Mr. Wilson has the audacity to remind us that he's a conservative and mentions a Bible verse from the book of Proverbs about government always wanting more money. It's difficult to keep track of how many millions of dollars this court has agreed to waste in the last 6 months. Of course, it's easy to do when you're spending other people's money. All done by unanimous vote, the 4 commissioners and the county judge. In a recent court meeting, we heard from the Burnett County Sheriff's Department about the need for more deputies to provide an adequate number for the increasing population in Burnett County, as well as the need to increase salaries for current Sheriff's Department employees to compete with other adjoining counties. Rather than relying on the leadership of the Burnett County Sheriff's Department, this court clearly shows their inherent and uncalled for mistrust of the Sheriff's Department leadership. While this court irresponsibly spends millions of dollars on different projects, properties, hiring consultants, and attorneys that are not required by state law and county government code, they continue to show their utter lack of concern for the safety of the citizens of Burnett County and the unwillingness to support the Burnett County Sheriff's Department by withholding increases in the county budget for the Sheriff's Department, which they are required to fund with taxpayer dollars. This continual lack of support for the men and women who are the county's first responders shows the lack of common sense from each of the court members. The men and women who work at the Sheriff's Department actually provide a service for the people of this county. Regarding the Commissioner's Court, it's a pretty good gig when you get to vote yourself a pay raise year after year while underperforming in every way possible. And even though Burnett County has the money to increase the salaries of the overpaid judge, the overpaid commissioners, and the overpaid county attorney, where there is no money to support the requirements of the Sheriff's Department, not one of you sitting on this court has shown the ability to be fiscally responsible. You are all non-responsive to the concerns of the citizenry, inept and unprofessional in the performance of your duties. By disregarding your fiduciary responsibilities, you show your utter contempt for the taxpayers.
Thank you. Your time's up. Appreciate it. Just one moment, ma'am. I need to make a statement of fact. So, spending authority, statement of fact, the Burnett County judge has no unilateral spending authority. Statement of fact, waste, fraud, and abuse. The Burnett County Commissioner's Court has limited authority to spend up funds only in accordance with state law and the published budget. The Commissioner's Court's determinations are reviewed for legal and fiscal propriety by a general counsel and an appointed county auditor. Anyone who believes that any waste, fraud, or abuse has occurred by this Commissioner's Court should report their evidence to the Burnett County Auditor. Okay, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Madeline Highsmith, Burnett County taxpayer. So there is some fraud. And in short, the way the county at the ARB is valuing properties is not following state law. You're not following the ARB, not you personally, following the United States professional accounting principles that are listed as a statute in the Texas Constitution for how to do appraisals. So these budgets that are getting approved are actually connected to your property tax. And in short, you're way overspending and you found a way to finance it through overinflating property values. And everyone here should be protesting their property values because illegal property valuations, because they're not following the statutes for accounting principles, they're appraising your property on current values in those cases as opposed to purchase value and the gradual increases. This is going on statewide, all 254 counties, and there are lawsuits happening everywhere about this. So we need to get our appraisal district in order and then dial in the spending here, because everyone here knows, sitting at this table, that they're running loose with the checkbook and financing all the bonds, the roads, the schools. I mean, every time you turn around, Kingsland's building a new little elementary school with a field that's astroturf for 5-year-olds. This is a bond. This is financing. This goes to the governor, the comptroller, all of them. They're all in on it. So you need to get it under control. And I'm asking you as a voter and a taxpayer to help. It's hurting you and your families too. I don't know how you can sit here and not get upset about this personally yourselves. And you're in a position to help, to be one of us, to represent your people. And I love it that you're paying attention and shaking your head at me, but I want to see you do something because actions speak louder than words. And I thank you for your service, and we need some more of it, the right kind. Thank you. And enjoy those big trucks y'all drive, because we like paying for them.
My name is Juanita Kaufman. I'm a taxpayer, I'm a voter, but most of all, I am a Christian. I know this man personally. I have heard him derided. All of these men are up here working for you, and you do something, nothing but sit there and complain. I'm ashamed to be a part of a community that has no more appreciation for these men sitting up here and working. This man, I know personally. He has 2 goals in life. The first one is to glorify God. How many of you even think about that? His next one is to help people. And he's up here as long as he can be here, working as hard as he can, and I know this man puts in many, many hours. I can only speak for him personally. The rest of them, I presume, do the same thing. So get off your blasted bus, quit your griping, and get up here and try and do something constructive for a change. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
My name's Craig Cosgray. I live in Barton Creek Lakeside in Spicewood. I just want to point out, what can I say? Anyway, I just want to point out a few things because we don't live this isn't just the only entity in the county that spends our tax money. So let me just discuss this real quick. Burnett County, let me get my glasses on. Last I could tell, from what I could tell, we're $35,180,000 in debt. The city of Marble Falls is $111,511 in debt. Marble Falls ISD, before the bond, was approximately $105,521,000 in debt. And like I said, that doesn't reflect the $172 million bond issue which just passed. And I have no idea if they're going to take part of that to pay off bonds or if they're just going to roll it, I have no idea. The city of Burnett is $29,935,000 in debt. The Burnett ISD is $50,630,000 in debt. The city of Granite Shoals is $13,771,000 in debt. City of Bertram is $22 million in debt, which is kind of outstanding. I mean, strange. And I got that off the controller's website. And Cottonwood Shores, Little Cottonwood Shores, $500,000. So the county debt at $35,180, from what I could tell, I looked at your budget. It looks like the debt service is $5,810,970. So that's about, that approximates, from leaving our county, $484,247 a month. Okay? So I think what you need to do is go back and take a look at your budget. I personally work for two big organizations, United States Air Force and Delta Airlines, and I guarantee you we pinched our pennies in the Air Force, and at one point in time when I was flying for Delta, we all took a 10% pay cut and bought an airplane. So these are going to be tough times coming ahead of us. If you take a look, we have one party that wants to spend like hell and destroy our country, and the other one's, I don't know, kind of lost in the woods. So we count on you to do the proper thing, and we understand you work hard, but there's so much debt here, I'm not sure we're going to make it, frankly. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So just want to read a statement of fact that the current outstanding certificate of obligations, tax notes, and other outstanding debt is owed by Burnett County is $22,721,000 and $248. This amount was noted on the FY25 monthly financial report for the month ended May and submitted to the Commissioners Court on 6/24/25. The next report will be after September for the quarterly report and should show an additional decrease in that amount. So. And additionally, the proposed budget does not include any new debt obligations for the upcoming year. So, all right. Additional public comment?
Patty Cope, Burnett County voter, taxpayer, interested person. I have a question about the budget that has been produced. I've been at all the meetings, and I've seen the Sheriff's Department ask for 4 additional deputies, 1 in each sector, 1 in each commissioner's precinct. I watched that presentation at AgriLife, and then I've seen other elected officials and department heads present to the court kind of a wish list, and all of those things have shown up in the draft budget. And so my question is, do you have a list of a wish list of everything that was requested and then the things that were denied? And I'd like to see that, because I think that the deputies were on the list, just like constable vehicles and all these other things that have been added, but I'd like to see what's the criteria for eliminating requests from the budget. Is it purely financial? The other issue is the tax reduction in the tax rate has reduced the revenue, I think, from $3 million to $1.5 million, I think. So there's still new revenue ad valorem revenue being generated by additional houses being added to the rolls. So we're doing deficit spending, we're taking some things out, adding some things in, waiving policies, mileage policies for vehicles, and also, as I mentioned last time, the tax reduction for me, my share, is $1 a week. And if you're in Joppa and you need a deputy, or you're in where Londa lives and you need a first responder to come out to your property, what's it take, 45 minutes sometimes? Sometimes. So they do try, but I would still rather not have the $1 a week, and I think a lot of people would like to see deputies added back into the budget. And I really object to the statement of fact when somebody doesn't have a chance to rebut what your statement of fact is. Thank you.
Okay. Fiscal transparency, the Burnett County Commissioners Court is an elected governmental body that conducts its county's business in regularly scheduled meeting in the public to ensure transparency and posts out all the documents associated with those meetings. Is there any other public comment? Okay. I close public comment for agenda item number 3. Okay, I call agenda item number 10, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding proposed Burnett County holiday schedule for FY26. Is there any public comment on the holiday schedule? Okay, close public comment. Commissioners Court, the FY26 proposed holiday schedule was sent over by HR. The schedule provides 15 days that the courthouse will be closed and employees will have off. For comparison, the state of Texas also has 15 days in FY26 or that they've adopted, the legislature. Elected officials who close offices for additional days or grant additional time off for the holidays will be responsible for managing their employees' vacation leave. So, is there any discussion? Okay.
What holiday got removed? Isn't there a holiday that's not on here? Columbus Day?
Okay.
Is that a state holiday in that, or no?
I didn't, the only one that I saw different was, for us, is Bluebonnet Festival, and the state gives off, I think it's the Independence Day, Texas Independence Day. So the only difference between the two, but I don't know about Columbus Day, if it's still a federal holiday or not. So. Any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Was Columbus Day left on accident? It is a federal holiday.
Okay.
Was it left off on accident?
I don't know, but 15 days is pretty generous, so, in my opinion. So we don't have to necessarily, obviously we can't deposit or do things like that, but if you want to consider adding it or
Seems like we swapped that one for
I think it's swapped for
Bluebonnet
Bluebonnet.
Festival.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
Well, I'll move to approve this holiday schedule with the addition of Columbus Day.
What day is Columbus Day?
It's usually a Monday.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved by Byerly and seconded by Luther that we adopt this schedule, but add in, what did you say, October 13th? Oh, that's just a few weeks, okay. October 13th is Columbus Day. Okay, is there any further discussion? Quite honestly, I'd rather just adopt the one that's in the book. I'd rather not add additional days. We have a really good benefits package. We have a great pay increase. It just seems like 15 days is sufficient for our current staff. So, anybody else have anything else to say? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no? No. Okay. Okay, the motion fails. You want to do, okay, you want to do, okay, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do a, yes, 2, 3. All right. I'll go ahead and move that we adopt the version in our book. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we adopt the schedule in the book. All those in favor, any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
No.
Okay, and the motion passes.
Aye.
4-1. I call agenda item number 11, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding allowing the use of county equipment and manpower to assist the Burnett Rodeo Association in arena preparation for the upcoming fundraiser on October 11th, 2025. Commissioner Byerly.
We do this twice a year for the Rodeo Association, for their fundraiser to support the youth of Burnett County. I move for approval.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been, any public comment for this issue? Okay, it's been moved by, closed public comment. It's been moved by Byerly, seconded by Collier, that we approve the use of county equipment and manpower to assist the Burnett County Rodeo Association, Burnett Rodeo Association. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 12, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action for the authorization to contract with Dakima Levy to provide design services for the Briggs Community Center located at 185 Loop 308 in Briggs, Texas. The project will include documenting the existing conditions for the plus or minus 10,000 square foot Briggs Community Center, review them against applicable building codes, and provide code compliance corrections. Also provide design and documentation for the rest of the renovation scope and support the builder during the construction. Commissioner Byerly.
Okay, so as we took over the Briggs Community Center, it is the recommendation of our maintenance supervisor that we get some plans. There's no plans for it, even just basic general drawings. And to do it after the fact it's an expensive, but it's something that we can have and hold. And because it's a historic renovation, we do get to use hotel motel tourism money. We have money left in this year's budget, so it will not affect next year's budget, and nor will it affect the ability to continue to remodel the community center as it needs to be done. So it's something that we can take care of now and get those plans in hand, and get them turned into the fire marshal over in Briggs, so they have it.
So that's the code portion of this agenda item is the
Yes.
The ESD has code requirements that have to be met beyond what just going out and fixing on, working on a building or whatever.
Right, this will provide a safe building and a engineered safe building for to last.
Is there any public comment on this issue? Okay, all right, close public comment.
That's also a voting center, is it not?
It is a voting center, or it will be.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move for approval, sorry.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by Byerly and seconded by Collier that we approve this. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 13, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the following for the County Court at Law official court reporters FY24 compensation to follow Texas Government Code 252.0929, subsection J, payment of back pay of 2,080 hours at the difference of the actual payment of salary $84,572.80, or $4.66 per hour, and the corrected amount of salary of $97,136, or $46.70, equals to $12,563.20. Is there any public comment on this agenda? Really not fun.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. That's fine. Claire Nybro, Burnett County voter, taxpayer in person. This same agenda item was on last week's meeting for back pay for 2025, and it was approved by the court for $18,680.60, correct, last week? So now we're seeing it again for FY '24 in the amount of over $12,000. That's over $20,000 that she did not get paid at the statutory rate. And I don't understand why this happened, because last year, during the only public hearing that we had on the budget last year, under the Judge Oakley was the chair, and I actually came to the microphone and asked a question about the five positions that got big raises last year. And Judge Oakley on the record specifically said that Judge Henson's court reporter was one of those five. So I'm at a loss to understand why this pay didn't happen for this woman. I don't understand what's going on, and I'm hoping that the court can offer some kind of explanation for why she didn't get paid what she was supposed to get paid. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, I close public comment. This is a retroactive claim for back pay due to the court reporter for the county court at law. The issue before the Commissioners Court is that no one took action to address the situation until I began to put the budget together for FY26. The Commissioners Court made a correction last week for the FY25 pay. It now has to decide if you want to go back 1 year. This back pay would be the first full year after Judge Cody Henson began his office. So, are there any other questions?
I mean, it just sounds like it was a mistake. We didn't follow the code, and now we're going to give her what she's due, correct?
Correct. So, this is probably the extent of my comfort for this back pay, where we have the judge fully engaged in conducting his court. So it's so that we've already corrected this year's pay. We're correcting last year's pay, and stop there. So that's my recommendation. So do I have a motion?
I move for approval.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Put it on Collier. Byerly moved and Collier second. Any further discussion? Any questions about this? Okay. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 14, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the authorization of payment to Josh Walenta for reimbursement of reasonable cost incurred for the bulldozer work rendered to restore public access as well as emergency services to Cow Creek due to the flooding during the declared disaster on or about July 5th and 6th, 2025. Commissioner Collier, you want to lay this out?
Yeah, this goes back to when the flood, when we first got to the flood and Cow Creek was in severe damage. And I ran into Mr. Walenta, and he offered, he said, hey, I've got a big dozer. Y'all need help down there? I'm willing to help. So we went and looked at it. Sure enough, we were going to need some help. There were boulders and debris the size of cars, so he came in real helpful. We couldn't have got it done without him, honestly, or in any kind of time frame. without him. So we're extremely grateful, and I move to approve payment to Josh Valenta.
Okay. All right, is there any public comment on this issue? I'll hold your motion just a minute, Commissioner Collier.
I'd just like to know how much money we're talking about.
$4,088.
$4,088.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public comment? That was Claire Nybro for the record, requesting that it was $4,000.88. Better watch my tongue. Okay, any other public comment? I close public comment. We have a motion.
What is this going to be paid out of?
Do we?
Out of my operating.
Okay, it's going to be paid out of operating, precinct 3 operating.
Now, will this come out of this year? Or should we use disaster
Actually,
money?
we should use disaster money on this, Commissioner.
I don't think this should hurt your regular budget.
Yeah, we already have disaster funds set aside. So,
I'm fine with that.
well, why don't you go ahead and modify your motion to pay this out of disaster funds, if you would.
I move to authorize payment to Josh Valenta out of the disaster funds.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. All right. Collier has moved, Barley second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 15, discuss and consider take appropriate action regarding invoices without POs. We have 2 here today for, the first one was, we have a state official that works here in our county in the AgriLife, our county extension agent. She's not always well-tuned with our county processes. She came during the budget process and told us about her damaged truck, and she was going to get it fixed, but she didn't know that she had to go get a purchase order before she did that. So I've talked to her, we've sent her emails. She understands that in the future, if she takes on these kind of roles, this was kind of outside her usual buying paper or doing the few things that she buys. They're largely funded by state funds, but so anyway, she understands on that one. So it was for a county truck, so it was a legitimate county expense. The second one is the Condor shredding services for the sheriff's office, which is a county-related expense, but the response, I don't know that it made it clear that they understood how to keep this from happening in the future. Chief Trevino, or Sheriff, do we know that just having an open PO for shredding services is good?
Calvin Boyd, Burnett County Sheriff. Yeah, this is we've been using them since 2019, and it's been treated as a contract in the past. And so it's kind of bad to say this is how we've always done it, but this is the way we've always handled it. We've contacted the auditor's office and talked to them how they want to do it, so we changed that.
Okay.
One of the questions on your email was, do we understand how to do this? And I don't have a number, but you can imagine how many we request during the year and
Sure.
need. So we do understand the process.
Okay, just an open PO, that's all I was asking. So, okay, thank you. I mean, as we move through these, commissioners, we're just trying to make sure that the auditor's submission of these items each week is showing the public that we're working hard to be transparent even when it's inconvenient. We ensure our purchases follow state law and the Burnett County purchasing policies, or bring them to the Commissioner's Court and let the public see how we choose to make these payments. The purchase order is a method to ensure that sufficient funds are in the office holder's budget at the time that the purchase is made. One invoice, so anyway, I've already explained the 2. Is there any public comment on this issue? Okay, I close public comment. Do I have a motion to approve these 2, authorize the payment for these 2 invoices?
So moved.
Okay. Dockery moved and Luther seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Okay. I call agenda item number 16, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding to the budget interline item transfers. They're here in your book. Are there any questions about these? Any public comment about the line item transfers? Okay.
I got one. What is yours of that transfer for you? Is that all for this building right over here across the street?
Just this, is it $60,000? My glasses on.
It says 125 East Jackson, HVAC, paint, flooring, and IT firewalls and switches.
Right. Yeah, just the 60,000 is for the 127 East Jackson, HVAC. The rest of it, oh, I'm sorry, in the paint and the flooring, that's 60,000. And then the rest of it is IT, firewalls, for both the sheriff's office as well as other county processes. So we recently went through a grant-funded program, a switch update program that covered only a portion of our network. We continue to have county IT resources at risk with exposure because we don't have sufficient firewall and we don't have updated switches on much of our technology. Looking over the budget, I found areas where we're not going to spend the funds by the end of the year, so I'm asking to move those funds from these areas where between now and October 1st we're unlikely to spend it. The bulk of this money is the 15 firewalls to protect the system, IT switch projects, 13 switches at $65,000, and then two other switches. The second part of this purchase is 127 Jackson Street for the facility workers to complete a major part of the IT, a major part of the building. The original building was contracted for $912,000 for 5 offices, should say 4 offices and a meeting room. The Commissioners Court has already approved the use of the second floor of the IT department. We're finalizing the City of Burnett approvals, and I will bring a full accounting to the Commissioners Court once I have the contract price amendments. But in the meantime, when this contract was let for the 912, they built into the contract that the facilities and maintenance people would do most of the cabinetry and walls and flooring. But they didn't, the past Commissioners Court or judge didn't allocate money. So we're leaving this fiscal year. I can go ahead and purchase the materials, and then our staff time will be used over the next several months to install this stuff. So two parts. The $60,000 is for stairs, flooring, things like that. And then the technology equipment and the machine equipment capital is for the firewalls and the rest of the switches. Because we still have lots of resources at the sheriff's office as well as other county where we don't have sufficient firewall, and we don't have IT switches in place.
I'd move for approval.
Second?
Okay. It's been moved by Dockery and approved by Byerly. Is there any public comment? I think I already closed public comment. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 17, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the authorization for payment. The auditor didn't turn in bills to be paid. Nothing's subject to the Prompt Payment Act that we're going to be fined or interest, so I've just asked her to push it off to next week. So I'll do this by general consent.
No action on 17? No action on 17?
No action if it's okay by general consent. I just really want to make sure that these bills get in front of us and the public before we pay them. So I call agenda item number 18, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding contracts, agreements, and grants to be approved and or ratified, the approval to sign and execute necessary documents and actions to enter the Regional Public Defender for Capital Cases interlocal agreement, and the approval to sign and execute all necessary documents and actions to enter into a lease agreement with East Texas MAC buyback program for FY 2026 MAC dump trucks. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, close public comment. Do I have a motion to approve these, ratify these contracts?
Move for approval.
Second?
Okay, Luther has moved, Collier seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. I call agenda item number 19, acknowledgement of receipt, PEC letter and notice of utility connections. Okay, there's no action needed for this. Call agenda item number 20, discuss, consider, and take appropriate action regarding the Commissioners Court modifying its regularly scheduled meeting. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, close public comment. Commissioners, I propose that we move and repost the final adoption of the budget and tax rate to September 16th. The posting in the local paper about increased salaries left off one of the elected county positions required under Section 152.013. This means the public has not had the 10-day required notice. I wanted to let you know that while we can still have a September 9th Commissioners Court meeting to conduct regular business, there's just no way that we can meet that 10-day requirement that's required in Chapter 152 and hold our budget meeting and give the public full notice and disclosure about increased salaries. So and I also recommend that on October 7th, 2025, the Commissioners Court choose now not to have a meeting since there'll be other meetings conflicting at that time. So
we're going to have the regular scheduled meeting on the 9th and then move the adoption of the budget and final tax rate to the 16th.
Right.
Is that correct?
And so what what we have to do under this agenda item is we have to vote to schedule our public hearing, final adoption of tax rate and budget proposal for the September 16th, 2025. We're on number 20. Okay.
Do we have a conflict with the space?
We have the conflict with the space.
So we need to assign a new location. AgriLab?
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so it'll have to be at the AgriLife.
The 9th here, as normal, and the 16th at AgriLife?
Right, that's correct. But I don't know any other way around this. The statute's very clear about that the public has to have 10 days to respond to increased salaries for elected officials. So.
What time at each? 9 o'clock, both places? Both days?
What's the second day?
September 16th, AgriLife?
Yeah, that would be
9 o'clock?
That would be 9 o'clock a.m. at the AgriLife building. Okay, do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we get on the record exactly what we're moving. That's what you meant, the second. One is the meeting on the 16th, and the second is the public hearing for the final adoption of the tax rate and the budget. So just to make, Commissioner Luther, if you don't mind, and you can confirm that your motion is to move the final adoption of the budget and the tax rate to September 16th, 9 a.m. at the AgriLife building.
That is correct.
Okay.
So moved.
All right. And is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Luther, seconded by Collier, that we move the final adoption and budget of the budget and the tax rate to September 16th at 9 o'clock a.m. at the AgriLife Community Center, 601 East Vanderveer, North Vanderveer. All right. Any further discussion?
You have a motion to cancel October 7th.
Oh, I'll just take that in a different bite. Okay. Okay, no further discussion. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. Motion passes. All right, and then also I recommend that we cancel the October 7th, 2025 Commissioners Court meeting because of other meetings taking place that week. Do I have a motion?
Was it October the 7th?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Okay. Doc Reed moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Luther, second. All right. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor of canceling the October 7th Commissioners Court meeting, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. Motion passes.
Just for the record, that was going to be a special Commissioners Court meeting on the 7th. It was not a regular, you didn't cancel a regular meeting, you canceled a special meeting.
Okay. All right.
And just,
We call every Tuesday special or regular, right?
That's what I'm,
Because y'all haven't voted to go back to every 2 weeks. It would still be a regular meeting on the 7th, correct?
okay.
yeah, I think what we,
Unless we're just finishing this term, which ends in September. And then October would be a new term of work, so.
That was the point I was trying to make.
okay,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
think that's what
Okay.
he's trying to.
So just to make sure everybody's on the same page, the term for for FY 2025 is that we voted to make it every week, and then the terms, we haven't adopted our term for the next, so it could potentially be a special meeting, but we're canceling it October 7th, whether it's a special or a regular meeting, so, all right. Okay, I call agenda item number 21, calendar review. Anything you need to know about? I see our tourism webpage has all kinds of stuff on it. Call agenda item number 22, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, Doc Reese moved, and Collier second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Thank you.